Hi guys, thanks for coming to see me in my studio. Nice to see you again. Sorry it's been a while since my last upload, but I'm a busy man. I can't always get to do a video. I do have a full-time job outside in the real world. Anyway, today's video is me finishing a painting. You've not seen it from the beginning because it was something I did for a lovely art group in Folkestone the other week, and we was going through the rudimentals of painting glass as a still life setup. So what you can see behind me, this ghosty image, is basically how far I got during the workshop. I'll show you some examples right now of some of the work that some of the guys did on the workshop. Really pleased with it. They took a lot of abuse from me. Well, not abuse, but you know, I'm a bit of a hard taskmaster on my workshops. But today is all about getting this finished, really. Putting the final layers on to make this background part to be half decent painting if I can. Especially in front of a camera. I can never paint properly in front of a camera, as you've seen if you've already seen some of my videos. I'm surprised you come back actually. Anyway, here's my setup. Looks okay. Round about the same as how I was seeing it on the day, so as close as possible anyway. So I'll be starting off with that. So what I'll do first of all is I will bring my trolley out. Okay, so I'm all set up over there now. I'm using exactly the same palette as what I used at the workshop. I have included one other colour though, burnt sienna. I didn't put any on at the workshop because there's only a tiny bit of brown in there, but to get that nice little zing I thought I'd just chuck a little bit of burnt sienna on it. So that's the only change that I've made. Got exactly the same palette. It was one that goes in my little French easel that I take out plein air painting, so it just folded up and I've just got it back out. The colours are still quite wet, so that's fine, as it was only last week that I did the workshop. Anyway, let's get sorted, shall we? As I say, I've already mixed up all my paints, all my colours, so what I'll do is I will start with the blue jar first. I bought this especially for doing the demonstration in Folkestone. I just thought it was really nice and cheap. I'll get all my stuff from the range or somewhere like that, you know, just me demo bits and pieces, you know, something to paint. I'll collect my whiskey glasses and bottles. I'm just going to paint the shapes, a series of shapes. I mean, what I was saying to the class was instead for getting confused about painting glass, instead of looking at it as, oh, this quite difficult glass subject, see it as a series of shapes. And if you just see things, anything you paint, if you just see it as a series of shapes, it makes it a little bit less daunting, you know. I don't like things being too complicated, especially not for me, getting too old for all that. Here goes my old cockerel. Well, one of them. We've got 3 cockerels out there. They're always vying for attention, always vying for, I'm the king of the old coop. So every now and again you hear them squabble and trying to rip each other apart, but there you go. I'm seeing this shadow here. What I'm seeing in front of me, it's a lot stronger behind this bottle. It wasn't as strong in the church, but it is quite a strong shadow behind that you can see. Some of the highlights that you can see on here that I put, we put the highlights on to the final paintings, although they weren't actually finished, just to see, you know, how putting a bit of a highlight on can make things look just that little bit more readable. It works okay. I'm just painting over the top of mine now. As again, I'm basically on going back into what we was seeing as stage 2 on the workshop. which is basically just getting a lot of mess, a lot of zhushing and bushing about. Okay, keep constantly stepping back to have a look at what you've got in front of you compared to what your painting is. Cool, although I've got these shadows around about the same, you can see so much difference here. It's mad. These bottles are really nice. I mean, they've got some really nice shades of blue where the light is hitting it in different areas. It's quite nice. If people are interested, at the moment I'm using a Princeton brush. If you are starting something and going to try something, yes, get something affordable, but don't get anything too cheap, because what it can do, and it did it to me when I was trying to learn watercolour when I first started painting, it can really put you off if you go a little bit too cheap with what you've got, or if you get something that's too, what you think is very affordable, because what happens is you get so frustrated, and as I say, in the end you go, I just can't do this, and it's not worth it in the end. I'm just trying to sculpt out the shape a little bit more, just to give me, just so I can get my eye back in a bit more. The background here is so much lighter. That's what I'm doing. I'm just re-sculpting where this shadow is as well. Although in the background the shadows are very stark, very obvious and straight lined, but I must admit I don't like straight lined, and because it makes it look too much like you've got another bottle behind there. You can use a background to sculpt, which is what I'm doing here. I need to do a bit of zhushing and bushing here, get these shapes, get my brain into gear. Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm ghosting this in a bit, which is how I did it before. It's just that my shapes have all gone a little bit, so I'm just trying to rectify my shapes. Something gone wrong there somewhere. That's what I like. I like to make mistakes, because then that means I have to rectify it. Okay, right. When I'm scrubbing around like this is my thinking time. I can see that there's an obvious passage here that's not working. So when I scrub around like this is a nice time to get my thinking cap on, so I can try to find what's going wrong. Down there, Well, I'm going to look at the monitor of the camera to see a different perspective of it. Okay, so I had to turn the camera off for a little while because this bottle, for some reason, I think it might be because I'm standing at a slight angle to it, but this bottle, the shape of it just was not sitting right for me, and I just could not get it. So I thought, right, turn the camera off, get it sorted out a little bit better shape. So that's what I've done. I've scrubbed it in a little bit more, made it a little bit more hazy again, and so I can get back on with the actual painting again. I'm still just using two brushes at the moment. They're both Princeton's, but yeah, no, that's looking a little bit more pleasing for me now, to be able to actually sort of like do the painting proper on top of it. So you will notice a big jump there in the process, but no, I just had to get that sorted. It was driving me absolutely mental. Anyway, let's get back on with it, shall we? The thing with painting glass is, don't forget, you can actually see through it and see behind it. So I concentrate on painting what's behind and through it as if the glass isn't there, as if the bottle isn't there, so that then when you put the layer on top, it looks as though it is stood forward. So if you can, try to paint your shadows and paint other bits and pieces that you can see behind it. Try and get those painted in as if there's nothing there. Step back. Okay. Okay, I put a couple of the darker lines on here now. Right, okay, what I've noticed as well with doing this is this bottle is really, I don't know, evading my painting for some reason. But standing back and having a look, I can see that it's not very straight. Okay, so if I put that brush there and put it to there, it's only slightly out, but it's enough to draw the eye. So if I just straighten it up a little bit there, might make it, okay, make it straight with the edge of the canvas. Then everything else goes out. So you really need to keep on top of the observations. So it's just pushing, pulling, pushing, pulling all the way along in a painting. You know, step back, because if something's bugging you, there's probably something there wrong. I looked at the monitor and it was like, well, I can really see where it is. It's good to look with a different set of eyes. As I say, I looked at the monitor of the camera and it showed me where it was. But then I have to alter this area as well, the top of the neck and this area as well. I really need to sort that bit of neck out. That's absolutely winding me up at the moment. A bit better. It's this neck area here and this bit here. It's not reading right for some reason. Sculpt it in with a shadow. I'll probably look at this in a couple of days and think, oh my good God, like you do, and then I'll make a few more alterations, I should imagine. So just got to tackle this glass now. Clean these brushes off. I don't usually clean the brushes during the painting because I like the same colours to be, you know, appearing in all different areas. But well, I've got quite a bit of thick paint on there because I've got this like browny colour now. I do want to try to keep it clean. Do it quite frosty. Right, I'll start putting some highlights on now. Don't go completely white at first. I'll just put a few bits in a very light colour, and then what we'll do is once we put the lighter splodges on in those areas, you can put the proper highlight over the top and it makes it look a little bit more realistic. You know, I've tried all different riggers brushes. I've tried the really high-end ones, I've tried the really cheap ones, but I found the best rigger brush for me are these little white graduate, De La Rowney graduate ones. Do you know, they're absolutely brilliant. They're better than a lot of the high-end riggers brushes. They keep their bristles, they keep their shape, they pick up more paint. They just seem to be better all round. You see, I try to pick up a bit thicker paint. For the highlights. That's the thickest part of the paint that I'll put onto this. A little bit of this rim needs a bit of darkening up by the looks of it. Okay, I think that'll be it. Now, just a little bit down there I think. Just doesn't look right, the side of that bottle there. Okay, that's it, done. No more. Okay, right, we're finished. That gave me a load of trouble today for some reason. I don't know, maybe I just wasn't feeling it. So it is a bit cold out into the studio today, but as I've said in previous videos, whether it goes wrong or not, it'll still get put up because we're all human. I'm not perfect. I've never done a perfect painting yet, not even when I'm not on camera. I haven't done a perfect painting yet, not what I think of anyway. We've all got our own ways of dealing with things and looking at things, but okay, I've done a fair enough job. It's an okay painting, it's not brilliant, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it this far, well done. I've edited it okay. One time the battery ran out, another time I forgot to actually press record. I just went a bit crazy today for some reason. It must be because I got a day off work and my brain's just gone woohoo. But there you go, that's what happens, isn't it? Anyway, as I say, I may have some music over it. I'll try to have a bit of dialogue over it. But if you've enjoyed it, please say. If you thought, what are you doing, John? Please say. If you didn't watch the video, doesn't matter, because you won't know what I've been just saying here anyway. So anyway, please come back again. I'll really try to get a better painting done next time. I hope the club, people from the club that may have watched this video have seen a bit more of the process, can understand what I was trying to get at. As I say, we're not all brilliant, we're not all great, we're not all perfect on this YouTube land. We just try to amble along. So yeah, please come back again and give us a thumbs up or whatever. See you next time. Shouldn't be too long this time, okay? See you soon. Bye bye.